Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence, no basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks, your Constitution does not apply to me because I'm a sovereign citizen, a traveler on the land. I'm from the Moorish Empire or whatever, bitch snitch. Because they're so fucking absurd. If you want to be a sovereign citizen, just do yourself a favor first. Go to YouTube here and bitch get every sovereign citizen that's ever been before. Find me one that won. God dang, you're right. Don't go down this. It's not the path. Don't have time for stupidity. Some clever dick on the internet didn't find the great loophole in all of the world's law. Bitch snitch. God dang, you're right. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. God dang, you're right. Moorish Empire. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Moorish Empire. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Late evening U.S. people. Wow, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, however good it feels, however many times you're going to do it and all that stuff. I'm just glad you're doing it here with me, Legal Vices, on this little old channel I like to call Legal Vices because I'm creative like that. Wow, it's a new week. We're for an adventure. I've officially leapt from the plane without a parachute. We're going to be talking about this particular judge here in this case that we like to call apparently what the Hales. I know this much about this. I've tried to follow a few things. I've tried to check in on a few things. But the more I watch, the more confused, lost, dazed, and just mystified I get by the whole thing. It makes less sense and it gets more and more convoluted the more I get into it. So what I've decided to do was to try to get the assistance of people that know what they're doing to guide me. This is sort of like the bad acid trip, where you need a guide to guide you through it, or so they tell me. But we're gonna be having a couple of guests join us here. One is, Megan Fox. She will be joining us as soon as possible. But I hinted that we might have another guest. And I'm deeply, deeply indebted to the kind, wonderful soul for being here. The special guest has arrived. Tug, what's up, brother?
How's it going, man? Man, what is this time zone we're in? Lord.
I know. See, I'm doing the Hannah Gutierrez Reed trial. I've got to start that in 2 hours, so I've got to do this 2 hours early. So it's a really horrible time zone for the next week.
I was like 7 a.m. My God, man.
I know.
I know how you feel though, man. Trying to stream with everybody else.
Yeah, I know it just sucks, and like I said, with this, it sucks even worse because like I said, I've jumped from the plane without a parachute, and I got no clue.
I understand that, man. When I first looked at this, I thought, this is gonna be like an odd case. Everybody told me like it's gonna be odd. It's been going on for a minute. It might catch up, but oh man, it is so much more than that.
Well, I mean, the first thing I live on the other side of the planet. For those of you who don't know, I live in South Korea, and I frankly have never heard of the What the Hales channel. And the first thing I heard about this was just scrolling, doing my Twitter scroll, and I saw Larry, DOI guys, tweet about some judge that was acting like a dick, and, and I listened to the voice message that they left with his secretary, and I'm like, this guy's kind of a dick. No judge or lawyer should ever talk to another lawyer that way. Should never threaten someone with action just because they disagree with what they're doing. And I moved on with my life. Well, and within a couple, I guess it was like 2 days, Megan, I start getting these texts at 2:00 in the morning. Oh my God, look at this. You gotta look at this. This is insane. This is crazy. And I'm like, I'm busy. I'm doing this trial. I can't look at another thing. No. And then and I'm saying that it's catching on. And so I watch a couple of Larry's shorts, and I'm lost. This can't be real. And I don't know what's going on.
Oh man, it's convoluted in a lot of ways because there's months and months and months of backdrop on it, and trying to catch it up. And you're dealing with actual, not just the judge, but you're dealing with a meth head and all kinds of other stuff. So when you're trying to work it all together, I mean, really though, the major problems here are the removal of the right to bear arms. I mean, we're talking about the South here. I'm in the deep South. You remove our right to bear arms. You remove our ability to speak freely. Yeah, no, we can't do that at all.
Oh yeah, this is just, it's crazy because, like you said, there's some deep lore here. There's lore that would make, like, Dark Souls aficionados happy with the amount of deep lore that's going on here. But then again, this has been going on for a relatively short period of time. Since I think last September-ish?
Yeah, well, the court portion, but when you get into the everything leading up to it, you have 9 months plus of crazy that's actually building up. So
even for 9 months, there is apparently a lot going on. Like, this has just been a daily occurrence for both sides of this equation since the jump. Well, since before they were neighbors, apparently.
Yeah, and it deals with the place itself too. So you have people from Ohio. They decide that they're going to, what do they call it? Snowbirding. They decide they're going to pick up property in this tiny little place in Levy.
It's about 100 people, 150 people.
Online it says 106. They said it's somewhere between 70 and that number. It just depends. So, I mean, we're talking about a very small area.
Well, yeah, I mean, coming from a guy whose big accomplishment in his hometown about 10 years ago was we finally got a stoplight. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We had a stop sign. Now there's a stop light in my hometown. So,
well, I mean, I've lived in some small places too. I lived in a place where we could only get internet if you pumped it in by satellite. That was the worst thing I've ever, and it was like going back to AOL. It was awful. Yeah, man. I remember YouTube that way. Yeah.
8 years old. I remember the day that cable found its way to my home when I was 8 years old. Click that on, get Saturday morning Georgia Championship Wrestling. Oh my God, I was in heaven. My world opened to me.
Imagine going back to that now. I mean, that's kind of what it was. I did that about 4 years ago. These little towns, and that was part of the discussion for them picking up their land too. So they wanted a place. They're snowbirding, but they
who are they? Who are they?
Okay, they're a channel with around 700,000 subs, and I mean they have dedicated a very dedicated base there as part of their channel. But they buy storage units. They decided they would pick up land, not just to snowbird, but to find treasures, dig up fossils, find arrowheads, things like that. They had good intention here, and well, they moved to Levy County, which sounds like an insane place to be.
And so yeah, I've the research I was able to do, because like I said, this just totally, I tried to ignore it, and then I got to the point where I couldn't, where that was all people were saying I needed to look out for, and that's all people were doing. I'm like, all right, I need to do this, just to put people to get the dogs off me, and and then two, to find out what it's all about. And I see that they do a lot of charitable work as well,
Yeah,
where they kind of went from pillaging the storage units to buying them back and giving the stuff back to the owners, and doing a lot of philanthropic stuff like that.
They were talking about that. They have other ventures outside of what they do on YouTube. So essentially, everything they make on YouTube, they basically give away. That's what they were saying, and that's that's quite a bit of money for them.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they seem like a good, like good people. They seem like really good people. And I mean, when you've got 750,000 people following you, nearly, you're gonna have your haters. You're gonna have the people that basically talk shit about them and whatnot. But I tend to look at the big picture, and it seems like they're a great group of people.
You're going to pick up, and this is what they ended up with. You're going to pick up people that want to take advantage of your kindness. You're going to have people that want to take that money, and that's exactly how you get to this. I mean, first they move to this place anyway, and that place itself tries to take advantage of them. There was deep lore. Like right when they move out there, they needed to have installed some 2-inch pipe. It's supposed to cost a few bucks per, and instead they try to charge them. I forget how much it was, but it was like an overcharge of 10 to 20 times what it should cost.
Wow. So to lay the pipe for the whole subdivision.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were like, oh man, here's these rich, in the South, rich Yankees or carpetbaggers, they're rolling in. And
well, speaking of rich carpetbagging Yankees, it's Megan Fox.
Oh, what kind of a book? That was the worst one yet, Jeff.
What an intro. What it is.
Well, it was either that or playing off Nick Starro's stripper turned meth head turned tortoise rescuer turned soft sit.
Yeah.
So thank you, Nick. I thought I would use Tugs rather than Nick's intro. So yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this story is nuts. Last night, I fell asleep to Larry, the dulcet tones of DUI guy, reading me Lynette's petition. Oh, boy.
Some of that petition is insane.
Insane. How did the judge read that and not be like, ma'am, you need help? Like, you need professional help that you cannot get here in this courtroom.
Well, I'm the one that needs help now, because we need to piece this together. Because as we saying, you'll have the naysayers for people that got nearly 750,000 rabid followers. You're also going to have the ones that anybody new that tries to get in it is going to be like, you dumb shit, you don't know anything about this. So I want them to be nice to me, so I at least have to have a working knowledge before I go deep diving this thing on a regular basis. Because the Hannah Gutierrez trial is going to be wrapping up probably Thursday or Friday at the latest. So I need to hit the ground running.
The good thing about this is it's paused right this moment, so you have time to pick up.
Yeah. Well, thank God. It's either going to go away or it's just going to keep building. So
it's going to keep building. It looks like a lot more crazy the way it's come together.
And like I was saying, I don't know if Megan probably didn't hear because she's doing mom stuff there. It was the first thing was the receptionist message that Larry played and said, here's this judge that's threatening a bar complaint against me. And I just read that and I went, oh, this guy's a dick. I don't care if it's a judge or a lawyer. You shouldn't be threatening other lawyers with bar complaints because you don't like the way they do something online. And I let it go. And then you started sending me all these furious texts telling me I'm an idiot for not looking into this and I need to start doing it. And
with all the love I could muster, though.
Yeah, I know.
Very loving messages.
Yeah, cuddly little porcupine.
Jeff, don't be an idiot.
Yeah. Shut up, Gabber. So what I want to do real quick, if both of you don't mind, is read Megan's article, because I was surprised here that a lot of my viewers, my regular viewers, haven't really paid attention to this either and haven't heard about it. And I figured this is probably a really good place to start because Megan, you don't, regardless of what everybody says, you are a journalist and you're a good writer.
Well, thank you very much.
Despite what everyone says.
Yeah, who's the everyone? What?
Lord.
I was just telling Tug the other day. It took me 20 years, but I think I've finally gotten over it. People who criticize me no longer say she's not a real journalist.
Yeah.
Until Jeff this morning, though.
No,
That's
I said
okay.
you are. But, yeah. So we have Jeremy and George Hales. Now they're not married, or they are.
Right, they are not. I made that
Okay, that's what I was
mistake the first time through. They are. She is his fiance, I believe.
Yeah. And they do have a very large YouTube channel, especially compared to my meager pickings. Oh, and by the way, we got 412 people here now and 172 likes. Get down there and smash that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe. It costs you absolutely zero. And look, quality people pay attention to me. They come on my stream and pretend to be my friends. It's awesome.
I don't know, man. If I'm getting up at 7 o'clock and getting on the mic, dude.
Yeah, that's
like, what is
so
this?
early, right?
Yeah,
that's
I like that the chat has discovered that the Umbrella Man is here.
Yeah. Send the word out. Give it a whirl. Let's see what we got going on here.
Let's give it a whirl.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. We're going to follow this. We follow trials. We do other things. We also have our daily like and subscribe poll, which today is how much am I going to regret this? Your choices are not a lot. Oh, you sweet summer child. And oh, may God have mercy on your soul. And you'll need wine, all the wine.
That's a good one.
Well, we'll see how that goes. But so, and then Megan, I think, is succinctly sort of gave the crust on top of the custard, the flambe part of things. We got the crusty surface here that opens up.
Not to be confused with Krusty Clayton's.
Oh no, no, yeah. I'll eat the custard, but I ain't eating that.
Oh God.
Jeremy and George Hales have a large YouTube channel with over 500,000 subscribers called What the Hales. Cue play on the name, which is really turning out to be beneficial. I bet in retrospect, like, well, that was a pretty goddamn good name we chose there right about now. The channel focuses mainly on buying abandoned storage units and selling the contents for profit. The Hales became so successful at it that they began a philanthropic effort to give back to those around them. I need to read the main one, not the YouTube screen. There we go. They began a philanthropic effort to give back to those around them, sometimes buying abandoned storage units to return to the contents to the owner. The Hales family is well loved by their audience and community. At least they were until they bought the property in Levy County, Florida. Now, again, just from what Tug was saying, from what other things, this ain't the biggest county in Florida. It seems to be quite small.
Very small.
And what happened after that, the Hales say, involves being stalked and harassed by neighbors at gunpoint, defamed with posted signs all over their town alleging heinous crimes against children and more. When Jeremy filed for a protective order against his female neighbor, the state of Florida wouldn't give him one. So Jeremy filed in his home state of Ohio, where a judge took the matter seriously and immediately granted the protective order. I'm with you so far. And there's a lot to unpack in that paragraph too that I want to ask you guys about here in just a second. But the neighbor problem didn't go away. The neighbor then filed a protective order against Jeremy, which Judge Craig Dethomasis is temporarily granted. The injunction against Jeremy included an overbroad restriction on the prior restraint on his free speech, ordering him not to talk about his neighbor on his YouTube channel. If anyone uses his neighbor's name on his channel or causes his neighbor to be contacted, the judge says Jeremy can go to jail. This puts journalists like our very own Megan Fox in an interesting position. If I reach out to the neighbor for her side of the story, a judge can jail Jeremy. In essence, a judge. This is just ridiculous that sentence even exists, Megan.
I know, but you don't know what this guy is going to do, because if I do, I mean, this is the thing. It's like normally I would try and contact the other person, but in this case, it's like, wait a minute. He said the judge actually wrote, and I have the order now. The judge actually wrote that if he causes her to be contacted by anyone else, that he could be in violation. Yeah. And so, of course, it would be, I heard about it through him. So he sort of would have caused me to call her, right? So I can't. Yeah. I can't. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like I said, just the fact is, if I reach out to the neighbor for their side of the story, a judge can jail. The fact that sentence exists
in its form is just insane. In essence, a judge in Florida is restricting the right of the press to get to the heart of a story through threats of removing the liberty of the subject of the story. Regardless of the matters of fact between the neighbors, the real issue has become Judge Craig Dethomasis. See, this is where my problem went, guys, is I was trying to deep dive the background story. That they moved there, and apparently within a ridiculous amount of time, short period of time, this neighbor woman moved in across the damn street.
And it's a dump. People have been dumping
like literally a
there.
dump.
Yeah, they have been dumping their garbage there, and it's only like, I don't know, an acre and a half or something. It's not a large piece of property, and it's just totally trashed. He believes that they bought
seems like
there.
This should be the story to me. This should be the story to me.
Him.
Yeah. Yeah, and they wanted to use his philanthropic benefits because I watched about 10 minutes of Larry DUI guy's first thing, guys, and this was one of those cases. Like I've had instances like this in my life when I explain things, and I have to stop and pause and think that if a third person heard what I was saying, they would think I was just insane.
Yeah.
Because this is such a crazy story that I wonder if they've ever actually like stopped and thought, how ridiculous does this story sound to someone that doesn't know the truth of it?
Right. Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
That's what I thought this story was going to be, was this background back and forth between these people. And because I mean, they've got like 94 restraining orders and injunctions against each other back and forth. These are clearly neighbors that hate each other.
Yeah.
And she's like living in a shed on this dump land. It's not even a house.
It's a trailer.
A shed is a nice way of putting it. Actually, there's pictures of the place, and
that implies a door.
She's got like an outdoor toilet. Now she claims that she has an actual toilet in the trailer that's hooked up to the sewage, but I don't know if that's true or not. I know for a fact, though, she does have a composting toilet. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, except
very progressive.
It's very well. I mean, a lot of people live like that. I don't care how people live.
I don't care. Your typical outhouse is technically a compost toilet.
Right. If somebody wants to live like that, I don't care. I don't think anybody, it may not be the most sanitary of conditions, but then again, do what you do. You do.
Well, but now apparently they have a child that's deathly ill from some sort of illness where they can't come into contact with germs, and this doesn't sound like the best of environments.
So you might want to rethink a composting toilet if you have that problem. And the turtles too, which carry salmonella. And
I forgot. I didn't even think about that. Now turtle farms.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they were worried about kids' safety, running kids out on the road and everything. I mean, they got abandoned refrigerators out there with a 4-year-old might climb
with heavy duty latches on them just to be make sure.
God.
I mean, it's insanity. Especially, I have a 4-year-old, so I can't imagine putting my 4-year-old in that kind of situation.
When I hear about it, though, and then doesn't it drive you crazy, though? So apparently, she says in her petition that CPS has visited several times, and they've cleared her every single time. And I look at the pictures where this kid is being held, and I think, my God, look what they did to the Hernandez family who lives in a perfectly, beautiful home and has no issues. It's not dirty. It's not nothing. They take the kids because she has unexplained fractures because of an underlying metabolic disorder, but no obvious anything. But no, we got to take the kid and be sure, even though it's just a medical issue. But no, when you've got a kid living in a, swampy turtle farm with no running water or whatever, it's fine. It's fine.
And she wanted to rent out the tortoises in exchange for some invitation to a meet and greet with the Hales to grift for money to save the tortoise.
She wanted to bring a turtle and set up a donation box or some kind of crap at his event, and they were like, no thanks.
Yeah, how that works.
No.
Now, like I said, I thought this was the story, and the judge was just tangentially involved. But
no.
Sorry for my naivete.
As it turns out, they also have the worst judge in America.
Kind of, yeah. And I said I was hoping to get Larry here as well, but he's like, I've been running ragged for the last 10 days. I'm officially sleeping in. So unlike Tug, who's just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 7 a.m.
Caffeinated, and
I'm only
that's
on
more
my
like
first
it.
cup of coffee.
So the judge, I mean, there's bad judges out there. There's small town judges. There's the local judges who don't always exactly run the tightest of ships, which I guess is understandable in a lot of occasions. But this guy seems to be on a little different level.
You think?
Yeah,
Well, from what I've seen, and just look, I'm looking extraordinarily orange today. So, oh, I see. My lights are on the wrong settings. How? Let me just give me a quick second to stop looking like Captain Orange over here.
So it turns out, but while you're doing that,
Yeah.
last night MG
There we
Law went through one of
Yeah.
the hearings, and Steve Gosney was on with him. Now, Steve Gosney, he's a practicing criminal attorney in Florida, so he's in the same state as this judge. It takes a lot for an attorney in the same state to criticize a judge. It takes a lot, you would say, right? Normally, you're a lawyer, practicing lawyer, and you don't really want to criticize the judges so much. Steve took one look at this judge, and he's like, oh, you know who should be upset? And he pulls up the names of the people who were on the list of appointees for that spot. And he's like, this guy and this guy and this woman, holy cow, should they be upset that they got overlooked for this guy? And he even said straight out, he's like, this is a bad judge. So if you think Steve, if you think this is bad.
Yeah, I watched a few minutes of that. And the thing that stood out with me was I watched part of the deposition. And she's a stripper. I'm thinking, I would plead the fifth if anyone ever asked if I was a stripper and I was her. Because I'm thinking, I don't see that. I don't want to see that, actually.
Well, maybe she was the comic relief. Sometimes they have like a big. Never mind. I'm not going there.
Whatever you were going to put at the end of that sentence, Megan, don't finish it for the love of God.
I'm not going to.
We're only 28 minutes
We're
into
only
this.
20. I know. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it. We're going to keep it YouTube friendly. Yeah, she's a stripper / minister. She's also a minister. Right. She was a minister.
Well, Volpe Fox has been a member for 8 months. Says, hi, Megan. Hi, Tug. Oh, and hey, Jeff.
Hello, Volpe Fox.
Hey there. How are you?
And Julie O has been a member for 17 months. That's one of the OGs. Jeez. This sounds nuck and futz. I have not heard the story yet, so I'm glad Vices is also on a What the Hale's Virgin. Yeah, this is going in raw without lube, man. This has been a rough go for the first couple of days here. And Jem says, I was listening to Tug's video from last night and was so confused clicking onto Jeff's live and hearing Tug. Well,
that is funny.
So this is where we got 607 people. Welcome, 607 people being here. Glad to meet you all. Those of you that aren't part of this, you're not doing your job because less than half of you hit that like button, and we're already liking this. We've already given you something to like. Julie, also with a $10. No, plead the fifth if you know where she works. That's a good point. There's something
gross. That'd be horrible.
The judge, I'm sure because I was looking and it seems like they don't have the first couple of hearings on video, or either I just couldn't find them. But
I have them, and I'm gonna play the first one after this on my channel. So at 10 a.m. we're going into hearing number one.
Because I would assume that the judge didn't start out this way, and that something went horribly wrong at some point in the relationship between judges, lawyers, and whatnot.
So you would think that because that's what I was watching hearing number 1 for. I'm reviewing it and I'm like, okay, when does this get bad? Because at first he seems kind of reasonable, but then as it goes on, you realize, oh, holy shit. For one, they were called into court at 1 p.m. He doesn't get to them until 4. They have
Oh.
sat there for 3 hours. Plus, he's got the mayor of the town and her husband as witnesses sitting there for 3 hours. So you know that in every other one of his cases before then, and actually, I wish someone could like pull the hearings from the whole day. He was probably doing the exact same thing, which is wasting fucking time. This guy wastes so much time in a courtroom listening to himself talk that nothing gets done. It's all his fault. I have watched every hearing. I've watched every hearing. Every continuance is his fault, not their fault, his fault, because he can't shut his damn mouth.
You can't. Oh, I say you can't
I
either.
can't either.
You were frozen with your mouth open.
Oh no, I'm frozen.
Yes. Well, you're very,
Did it
very
stop?
choppy. Like 1 frame every 10 seconds.
What? All right, I'll be back. You keep going.
Okay. Quick, Tug, while she's incapacitated, talk. Just kidding, Megan. We love you. We love you, man. So
Her signal did turn to mud, man. I wasn't looking at it. I was going through and redacting a document.
wow. CME, a fashionable member for 6 months, says, does she mix her professions of the Church of Thong and Tassels?
Man, I mean, in looking at her, you're like, oh my God, I wouldn't want her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want her marrying me or doing anything there, and I sure as hell wouldn't want to be dropping dollars in a G-string. Oh, my God.
Oh Lord, have mercy! Like, is it what when that came? I'm like, no, I don't see that at all. I could wrap my mind around the concept of minister, but stripper.
Yeah, becoming a minister, you know, I mean, in some places, they turned it into a joke the Hales did on how fast people could become ministers there. And they were trying for a 30-second becoming a minister.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an honor to have Tug here. He brought me to LawTube. Please subscribe to all. If you're subscribed to me and not subscribed to Tug, what the hell's wrong with you? I mean, seriously.
What
that
the
would be
hell,
ridiculous.
indeed? What the hells?
Seriously, they've got to be going, man, we're making bank on this What the Hale's name now. This is the best thing we ever did. Welcome, Megan Fox. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Doug.
No, the cost of it, they said they had already spent over $80,000 on this case.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, that. You think about all the philanthropic things that they do and how much $80,000 could mean to people.
Well, and that's a thing that we as YouTubers tend to. This is hilarious to us. This is fun. This is entertainment, but this is also not only their stress, but their $100,000, and they haven't even got to trial. So I mean, this levity, this insanity, and this weirdness comes at a huge financial and mental cost to the people involved, and they seem to be keeping a pretty damn stiff upper lip about this whole thing.
They are. They've actually they've decided that they're in it for the long haul. That they're going to fight this, and they should. I mean, they absolutely should, because again, it's not just a crazy neighbor; it's crazy judge taking a Well, you had a temporary order, which essentially removes your ability to have a firearm. It's supposed to be reviewed every 15 days, and it's a permanent temporary order right now. So
yeah, I was thinking about that today when I was reading about that. I think that's so very U.S. because I remember when I was still married to my Korean wife, I thought the U.S. is the only place that would have something called a temporary permanent resident card. But that's essentially what it is. It's the indefinite temporary restraining order or injunction or whatever the hell they're calling it, with no deadline.
Yep.
And the fact that I don't know. All right, well, let's start with the judge. Tell me about the judge, guys.
Judge Craig Dethomasis has a very long and strange history there.
That is the understatement of the year.
Oh, really? Enlighten me, my friends.
Well, I have found some interesting stuff on him.
Don't piss
There
off the
have
journalist, people.
there
Just in case
have
you're thinking of making a journalist's life miserable, don't. They find shit.
there have been some allegations about him standing up for some pretty unsavory people in his
That's a
town,
good word.
including one lawyer who was pled no contest to voyeurism at a
Oh.
tanning booth. He had his phone hanging over the top, filming a woman getting undressed in a tanning booth, and he was arrested. And this was an attorney who actually still has his, I think, still has his bar license, if you can believe
Oh,
that,
wow.
because the rumor is that Judge Dethomasis actually spoke on his behalf. Yeah, gross, right? Now that I can't confirm that the judge actually did that. That's just what people who live there are saying, but I can confirm that that did happen, that that particular lawyer in that area did do that, and did plead no contest, and it's really gross. So there's there's that. Then there's the robing room, which is where people, put it's like Yelp for judges. You can put your
Megan's having a bad mic day. She's having a bad connection day. Pick up where she left off, Tug.
Yeah, the robing room. So you can actually go in and you can rate judges there. And some of the ratings are, there's something else. I mean, we're talking about one of the lowest rated judges that's out there, and you have complaints not just coming from litigants, you have them coming from staff. Yeah, you have them from lawyers.
Well,
I mean,
now see, that's a thing. If you have actual practicing lawyers, especially if they're in the same place where that guy works, talking about a judge that they have to appear in front of, that's ballsy. That takes a lot of guts.
Well, that's how bad he is. That's how bad he is, that even the lawyers who work there are like, oh God, we have to do something about this.
Well, what are some of the complaints against him that you guys can remember?
That he is a misogynist, that he is that he thinks he knows everything, that he talks over everyone, that he plays favorites in court, and we've seen all of this. We've seen it all, except for maybe the misogyny part. He seems to really give Lynette a lot of rope. I don't know why. He lets her interrupt him constantly, but he doesn't let Jeremy's lawyer talk at all. He interrupts Jeremy's lawyer every other word. It's
okay. Let me talk about that a second, because the first video I brought up about her, which I said was Larry's first video about him, and the first thing that comes up is the disclaimer about sovereign citizens, and I'm still not sure. She doesn't seem like a sovereign citizen.
Who? What?
When bringing up DUI guy's first video, it gives like the little Wikipedia thing, like sovereign citizens are a movement. And so I'm thinking, but I think what it just means that now anybody that represents themselves is automatically a soft set by default, apparently, according to YouTube. So I think she's representing herself.
Well, she was until somebody gave her
the default warning. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I was like, where was that at?
Does YouTube put a default warning?
Yeah,
it does sometimes, and the things that it puts on you are crazy. I pulled up the robing room, so here's a complaint. This is the court staff one that Megan was mentioning. He was the judge I begged to grant me a restraining order when I feared my partner was going to kill me. I was in a physically and mentally abusive relationship and found the courage to finally get away. The judge believed everything the master manipulator said and blamed the victim. The judge ignored previous charges of stalking. This judge let a criminal reoffend until finally incarcerated for a more violent crime. The judge had an opportunity to make the world safer. The judge is exactly what is wrong with the criminal justice system. The judge used his own biases to dictate the lives of civilians. The judge should not be allowed to practice. The judge should be sent to the bar and evaluated. There's been plenty of complaints against him. The judge has a reputation in the local area, but no one seems to do anything about it.
Wow.
One of many. One of many.
I mean, that's a lot in just one.
Yeah. Ignored stalking, previous stalking charges. Person gets incarcerated for more violent crimes. It wouldn't give me a restraining order. I mean, come on, man.
Well, it's like I was saying, ordinarily when people represent themselves, I guess in bigger courtrooms, it seems to me the tendency is to say, all right, you're on notice that you're expected to know the rules of evidence. You're expected to know all of the procedures, the formats for every document that's filed. And if not, I'm treating you just like counsel sitting at the table over there. But it seems like in smaller courts, they tend to be a little nicer to the people that are representing themselves and help them out a little bit more and be a little more tolerant with the irregularities of representing yourself. But this judge seems to have gone a little bit overboard in helping her.
You should read some of the filings this woman has put in. I'm like, my God, I can't believe. Like, if I were to write some of this stuff up, first of all, I would phone a friend and ask them, maybe, I don't know, to spell check and put in a little punctuation. But on top of that, it's insanity. It is absolute insanity.
What do we know why he's this way? Do we know why he's treating the Hales so poorly?
I have a theory. I mean, you can't really know, right? But I have a theory. One is Mark Feather. He hates Mark Feather. So Feather,
he was the previous lawyer.
Yes, but he even hates the new lawyer because he was co-counsel to Mark Feather. So even though Mark Feather's not in the room anymore, Mark Feather has stepped off the case. Mark Feather's presence looms large in the courtroom for this judge, and he can't get over it because he keeps talking about Mark Feather even weeks and weeks after Mark Feather's gone. So that's one reason. There's some kind of personal problem between him and Mark Feather. Now, I hear it's possible that there was some case where Mark Feather was the attorney for either the judge's wife or somebody in a divorce case, or it was Silverman was the attorney. Anyway, there's some divorce case where the parties are close together, right? And they were on opposite sides, and Mark Feather was the attorney. However, and it's a small town, so they must have they've got some back and forth. Anyway, the other reason, I really think Steve hit it last night. Steve Gosney said this. He said, I think it's because the judge sees this little old lady in his courtroom representing herself, and this big, strong man with this big YouTube channel who thinks, the judge, the way the judge is looking at him, the judge is thinking, he thinks he's a big star, and I'm going to show him who's boss. And his attitude did change in the first hearing when he saw one of Jeremy Hales's videos. As soon as he started watching the video, his attitude kind of started to change, and he started to get really belligerent.
So we think the judge is watching the videos.
Oh yeah, they're mentioned repeatedly, and they're brought in as evidence. So yeah.
Wow, this is so weird. And they've got bunches of restraining orders against each other, but
just one on the other, but they both have one.
It seems like there's a lot more from what his restraining order the judge put on him apparently is incredibly restrictive. Like I said, for some reason they took his guns away.
I sent it to you, right? Yeah, they did. I sent you that. Do you want to read it?
Do you have? I would have to download it. I mean, if you have it available, we can read it from you. While we're doing that, real quick here. You missed CMEF fashionable here. Does she mix her profession at the Church of Thong and Tassels? But Nick Starro, thank you so much for the sexy $50 all the way from Sweden. I wonder if there's a connection, Judge-stripper, if he speaks on behalf of perverts. He's the pervert whisperer, I guess. Dara the Wholesome.
Whisperer.
The pervert whisperer. That's perfect.
Is it illegal to advocate for a wood chipper on a sitting judge? Probably, but asking for a friend in Minecraft. This is a joke.
In
NSA,
Minecraft,
FBI,
of course.
ATF. Please don't shoot my doggy. Oh man. Should have waited about another hour and 15 minutes to read that one, but thank you so much. Oh, and by the way, anybody that's just joining us, we got 800 people here, and I'm sure many of you, this is your first time. Super chats aren't required, aren't mandate, but it does guarantee that your comments get noticed, read, and addressed by everybody. So feel free to super chat away if you're so inclined. If not, sit back and enjoy the ride and talk amongst yourselves. And we again, we've got 409 likes. Come on, we need to get to like 800 likes. Just for shits and giggles, do it. Right. So, what's your opinion, Tug? Why do you think he's this way towards her and towards the Hales?
I think what Megan said works in. I also, again, I'm out here in the deep South. You see, you see outsiders. Again, we don't call them outsiders. They're Yankees or carpetbaggers. They roll in and they do that. You get these small enclosed towns. I mean, and again, these people are both really outsiders, but you have this guy who is he's shining a spotlight too on this town, and he's pointing out corruption. I mean, you have so many other layers. Again, I was shocked to hear about the judge, or rather the advocate assigned to the courtroom. They were assigned they were assigned an advocate. So it's an advocate for them, and the son of that advocate ends up assaulting Jeremy Hale.
So what now?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Megan, you can hit that one.
Well, so Jeremy was out at a restaurant with his family, and some guy came up and hit him from behind with an elbow to the head.
Okay, where was he at when he got hit back the head with the elbow again?
In a restaurant.
Just
just
like
like
a joint,
just like a random. Okay, all right.
Yeah, what you always have in small town, South barbecue joints.
And Jeremy actually said he's kind of used to this. He says a lot of times in public, when people recognize him, if they don't know how to approach him, someone will try and like punk him like that, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I know what you want. You want a picture with me? Like, you can have a picture. Like, let's just take a picture." He's a really big dude, so he didn't get upset when he got that. Like he like looked, and then he just thought, "Whoa, you might. Do you want a picture or something? Like, what do you want?" And so he told him, he's like, "Hey, let's go outside. I'll give you your picture." And the guy dumped iced tea on him.
And them's fighting words in the South.
It turned out to be the victim's advocate that he was assigned in court. Her son. It was her son that did that. It's a really small town, Jeff.
No, but see, like this is the thing that makes people sound crazy to people that aren't that don't know, that don't understand life in a small town. This seems like just utter insanity.
Well, that's exactly it. People don't want to be called a bunch of inbred freaking redneck yokels. Well, don't act like it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Don't act like it. Jesus. It's like, where I come from, the little town of Wellsville. Well, we're in a tiny town. There's a slightly larger village, Wellsville, which like half the town is Andersons and half the town are Johnsons. It's a real shallow gene pool you're dealing with there. Sorry, people from Wellsville, if you ever see this, but I'm telling the truth. There's lots of Johnson weddings and Anderson weddings, and so it's this is crazy. You said to bring up we have the amended second extended temporary injunction and protection against stalking.
I got another one yesterday, which I think is actually better. I was looking for the right one. There's been so many amended. I have the original though. So the judge had to amend it, because the first one that he gave out, which is the 12-6 one, I'm going to pull that up right now. I don't think I gave you the 12-6 one. Here we go.
I have the 221 one.
Okay, no, we need to look at the 12-6 because this one's the crazy one. All right.
No, I have the two. All right, let me bring this on up here. This is the crazy one. Okay.
Yeah, this is the crazy one. So this is the extended temporary injunction. For
okay, this is the original one. All right, I got the second one is the one you sent me. All right.
Against stalking. So this is all like boilerplate language, right? This is all boilerplate. We don't
Yeah.
care about this. What we want to look at is the judge's actual words, what he wrote.
I'm sorry. We gotta push pause here. DCV
What?
Titan says judge is on her side because nothing beats a good gummer.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, I know what my next thumbnail is gonna be. Tracy
Oh
Fagan,
my
welcome to
God.
Florida, where every crazy person lives. See Florida, man. I know we saw Jules earlier. I had this, please get me out of this godforsaken state. Well, oh, people, thank you so much. The judge hates Hale's first lawyer, Feathers. I've heard. It seems like it's become a verb now, sort of like back in the O.J. Simpson days,
Here
like
it is.
to be funged became a verb. So it's like it seems like to be feathered is now kind of a verb, because he doesn't
feathered.
like the Feathers
Yeah.
guy.
Right.
All
We,
right.
we made it. We were joking that every time the judge swears, instead of using the F word, he goes, mother feather. It's like it's become Newman from Seinfeld. Feather. Look, this is the crazy part. Read this. Do you want me to read it? Or do you want to read it? This is the crazy part.
Let me embiggen my screen here so my old man eyes can see. All right.
This is the most unconstitutional prior restraint on all sorts of shit you've ever read.
Based on the totality of the circumstances presented to this court in prior pleadings and in the form of evidence presented at a prior hearing of record held on 11/29/23, and based on this extension of the injunctive relief this is just lawyer bullshit, isn't it? Injunctive relief due to the respondent's request to continue the hearing on 12/6/23, which was previously set with both his and his counsel's knowledge and without objection.
The judge had to throw that in. He threw that in on purpose, by the way. He threw that in on purpose because you're going to see he continues to complain about how you never objected when I said it at that date. You never. Well, he just adjourned without asking.
That is the only that's the only hearing I've watched so far, and that's the one I'm going to start with when I start reviewing the hearings. Is that one, because I was like, well, that's an odd thing to keep harping on again and again and again and again and again. So, in consideration of the issues implicated regarding the potential prejudice to the petitioner of such conditions which follow are not imposed, it is therefore ordered and adjudged as follows. In addition to all conditions and restrictions previously imposed, and as set forth in the extended injunction for protection against stalking, the following restrictions and conditions are imposed. The respondent and or anyone under his control, employed by him, and or in any way under his direction. That seems overly broad.
Look at this, including look at this.
Not limited to any and all administrators and any form of social media.
Moderators, Jeff. Moderators. Imagine holding your moderators responsible for what the people in your chat are saying.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I don't have mods anymore. Bye, guys. It was nice knowing you. Holy shit. Yeah, I love you to death, mods, but if shit like this happens, I'm going to cut you loose in a damn heartbeat.
Can you believe this?
So the mods say shit, and he's breaking his order.
The mods allow people to say shit, and now he is in contempt of this order.
I haven't got to the verb yet. So has the responsibility. The mods. Let's just take it down to the lowest tier here. Mods. His mods on any forum, and you, God forbid, Discord and
right,
and any and all administrators, has the responsibility to assure that he does not publish in any form whatsoever, utilizing any media platform or conduit of information of the name, image, and or likeness and or any information, data, photography, videos related to and or pertaining to the petitioner and or her minor child. That would mean like the mods couldn't let anyone post public court records.
Oh, right. Or her public social media page stuff she posts on social media. Much of this started, I believe, when she started doing these public videos on Facebook. dragging Jeremy for not supporting her turtle thing. Now she has the right, to make videos or whatever, but he has the right to respond. And just because he has a bigger platform than she does not mean that his free speech is curtailed in any way. She picked a fight with a 300-pound, bear. That's her fault. That's your fault, lady. Don't pick a fight with somebody who is bigger than you and you're doing this, all like defaming him online and all this stuff. What do you think? He's not going to respond? It's insane. But she gets all the protection from this judge. This judge is saying that she has the right, unlike any other American citizen in this entire country, she has the right not to be talked about in a negative way online by anybody. What?
You can't do that.
No, you can't. Done and ordered.
Hey,
This
what day is it?
6th
Yes,
day
he
of
did.
December.
He
Done
done did it.
and ordered. So this was his first order that was so
Yeah.
incredibly unconstitutional. Now he never, and in his defense, he goes, I never ordered him to take down any videos. That would have violated his First Amendment right. It was like,
yeah.
holy shit, man. You tried
Wow.
to restrain him and everyone who works for him, and even people who don't work for him. You tried to restrain them and their speech and my speech through this. You're trying to restrain all of our speech. This is absolutely the definition of prior restraint. You're saying that future speech is policed through this stupid order, and that podunk backwater swamp judge who thinks he can tell me what to say. You think you can tell me what to say? Oh, I dare you. Come at me, judge. This is bullshit. So then he goes and he changes it. He changes it very, very little, because there was a ruling that said an order just like this. There was a ruling in the appellate court in Budlove. The case is Budlove, which is a really interesting case, Jeff. We should read through it.
Just
would
be careful how you pronounce that.
Budlove?
Yeah.
What does it sound like?
Kind of sounds
Butt
like butt love to me. See, that's on the same page.
I see
Tony
my
and I are
brain.
at it. Yeah.
My brain doesn't even go there.
There's
So-
the definition. There's the difference between female brain and dude brain, right there.
In Bud Love, that still sounds like Bud Love.
Yeah. Now you'll
just-
never unhear it.
The decision there was that this kind of order from a judge was totally unconstitutional. It was very similar. It was a situation between two YouTubers who were going back and forth, and the order from the trial judge was basically, you can't talk about each other anymore. And
Well, Megan, there's a legal term of art to describe this. Horseshit. That's what it is. This is a crock of horseshit.
it is. It's totally. And the higher court said, no, you cannot do this. You cannot stop someone from talking about this person in some way. You can only stop him from making statements that are incitement to violence. So only illegal speech cannot be made. You cannot enjoin someone. You cannot stop someone from speaking about other things about that person that are not illegal, right? So to Jeremy's credit, he never really stopped talking about her. I think he just continued. And I think that's good, because you have to push back against this crap. I'll pull up the other one.
I want to know what his legal authority was for thinking he could do that.
He's God, don't you know? He wears the black robe. He sits on the bench with the black robe. See, I made my little little Lego courtroom. This one.
I saw that.
See, he sits on the bench over here in the black robe, and that gives him superpowers. He thinks,
But
he's
his
like
tufts go to the side, not on top.
Right.
He's got the bozo the clown side tufts.
Lego has a problem because I can't do different hairstyles. Now, my judge is wearing a Batman cape.
Oh God,
because
Megan's talking about her hair again.
I can't. And they really need to have like the pegs on the side so I can do the balding judge, but they don't have that.
Yeah.
I just lost the tuft. The tuft went down the.
Well, the
under my
judge should
desk.
lose the tuft too, in fairness.
In fairness, the tuft should go.
Well, see, which I thought was really interesting for this thumbnail, because the judge in the thumbnail has all this crazy hair coming out of his side, and he has this beard. I just put in the prompt: "Crazy judge goes wild and yells at lawyers." That was the AI prompt.
That was so funny. That thumbnail, his hair. How did you make it do hair like that?
No, I literally just said "crazy
just
judge
came
going
up like
crazy
that?
and yelling at lawyers."
Oh my God. That was
the
so fantastic.
entirety of the prompt, and I went, "Oh my God."
I tried to make AI give me judge's hair like that, and did
Yeah.
you see what it gave me? Did you see mine? It doesn't. It put him in
Yeah.
an English wig.
Yeah. But that was like
Which
the
was
first.
still funny, so I used it.
I've never had AI do anything right for me in my life, and, and it did it, and I didn't even ask it to do it.
Hey, I'll be back in a few minutes. I got to.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Doug. Wow. So I've got the third. No, I got the second motion to. No, that's the second motion to disqualify the circuit court judge. Here we are. The amended TR of the second extended temporary restraining
pull
order.
that
I got
up.
that one. And before that, I want to read the letter that she submitted in support of her own restraining order. Let's see here. Oh, we got 999 concurrent viewers. Somebody go tell a friend to get on here so we can get that up over 1,000. Come on, people. Just looks read. Okay, 992. I guess that works too. You can go the other way if you want. Let's see here. Oh God, bring up the screen window, the big white one. That's what she said. There we go. First of all, punctuation much?
I hate wall of text so bad.
Oh Lord, there's the occasional period scattered throughout here. So this was, I believe, this was a supplement to her petition for the restraining order, and this kind of gave me a little bit of insight into what was going on up there in that noggin of hers. Dear Judge, I am writing. She's writing a lot. I'm writing and entering in this supplemental report to ask to please give me an ex parte temporary order of protection. That ex parte is one-sided. The other side gets zero input on whether or not you get it. So it's like they go into the judge, they make the application, the judge looks and goes, all right, let's do it. While we wait to get a court date to make it permanent against Jeremy Hales and Martha, how does she pronounce her last name?
I'm actually not sure. We just call her George.
Yeah, George. I don't want to mispronounce
her middle name is George, and that's what she goes by. So
that answered that question. I wasn't going to ask, but all right. Escalated the stalking and cyber stalking and abuse to a level that is terrifying to myself and my family. Now, my understanding is it's just her and the little kid at this point, because even the husband's gone. I can't take this shit anymore. I'm out.
Yeah.
So they've created a false Facebook page, the good old false Facebook page.
Now can you imagine if you have a channel with over 600,000 subs, that you have time to sit around and create a fake Facebook page and pretend to be this woman?
Oh shit, Megan, I've got 67,000, and I don't have time to do it. I don't have time to do research. Clearly, right. That's why you and Tug are here.
Right. I don't have time for anything. I have a small, compared to his channel, I have this minuscule channel, and I have no time for anything. I could not sit around. All I have time for is to plan my show, do my podcast, and then take care of my kids. Like that takes up my entire day. I can imagine he's planning his videos. He's doing his stuff. There is no way that Jeremy and George have time to sit around and falsify a Facebook page to pretend to be this toothless woman. No, that's crazy.
Toothless old gummers. Oh God, yeah. They've created a false Facebook page or post to look like my Facebook page, and on that they've been writing hate messages, making it look like I'm doing it. They are inciting a riot to their followers. These followers are now threatening under their guide to do harm to my family. They are threatening to Baker Act John and I. Oh, for those who don't like Baker Act, that's when they may or may not present a danger to themselves, and they can get put on a 72-hour hold until they have some sort of competency declaration to determine they're okay, and take us away in handcuffs so that my child can be taken. They've created false posts that they're sending to the judge in Ohio, trying to get that judge to give us that no contact order that we do not deserve. So but if you want this guy to get out of your life, why do you care if you're told not to contact them? If it doesn't mean anything to you, what's the problem? Let the judge say don't contact him. I don't understand this. She wants nothing to do with him, but she's fighting a restraining order against her.
And
That's
she's
weird.
watching all of his videos. Ma'am,
Hate
stop
watches or watches.
I know,
I'll take
but
her hate
stop
watches. Yeah, I know.
watching. It's like, look, I can't say it enough. Like for anybody, when people come to my channel and they make comments about how I really don't like you, and I can't believe that your intro is too long, and my God, it's not about you. Just get to the point. It's like, ma'am, there are other channels out there, millions of them. Please go find one that makes you happy. Stop watching.
Yeah. Well, we got my message I told you about the other day. You talk too much. Later, Gabber.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not know this was a talk show? I should
learn sign language and just do the show entirely in sign language. I got one for you. Oh, and by the way, anybody, we got over 1,000 people here now. If you hear weird, heavy breathing, snorting, the snorting can occasionally be me. Snorting can occasionally be me if people like Megan say something funny, but ordinarily it's not. And chewy noises. I've got 2 stupid English bulldogs that are here, and one of them's chewing on a bone now, and the other's snoring contentedly. So all of the weird noises that you go, oh my God, what's wrong with this guy? It's the dogs. Just thought I would clarify that.
Can we put the dog cam on? Or did we get there yet?
No, we're not even close to doggo cam. We unleashed the pig dog cam at $100 in super chats. We're like halfway there. But we'll just do it for giggles. Where are we at here? Extra camera. For those of you that are wondering about the pig dogs.
Because one of them's very happy right now with a bone. I can tell.
Oh, you can hear it, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Strawberry. That's Strawberry's butt.
Thank you for giving us your butt, Strawberry. As usual, always. Facing. Butt love.
She's facing the space heater. She's just like bogarting the space heater, chewing on the bone. So yeah, that's dog butt cam there.
That's so funny.
And you can see more of that about $50 from now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. I hold my dogs hostage behind a paywall. I'm a horrible, horrible person.
I do that now too, thanks to Jeff.
Yeah, get after it, people. You know, smash that $sign button down there. All right, let's bring this back up. Lord have mercy on me for getting involved in this. Hey, Joe, what's up? We'll get to you in just a quick second. Thank you. They're inciting a riot. They're threatening to Baker Act me, go to Ohio to get the judge. We've already sending these fake messages to people that are now sharing them with them. Okay, again, we have not spoken to anyone online or otherwise about them. In the post, Mr. Hale says that I have called him a can't say that, can we?
Can't say that on
and
YouTube.
His girlfriend is can't say that either. Definitely can't say that one. And Your Honor. Wow. And Your Honor, he is the one who created it, not me. Cough, cough, scroll. The message is now along with an entirely created post. God dang, woman. And I can't, my eyes go nowhere else. There we go. He's making up his own stories now because I followed the advice of the deputy Totaya, and took down my private group so his moles could no longer steal my content. Oh my God. So she thinks that he's got moles out there stealing her content.
Well, I think he did. I mean, I think people were in there. It wasn't, they weren't stealing any content. And what she calls a private page wasn't private because people were, sharing what she was putting on there. So there were people who were his fans who were watching what she was saying about him because she was saying all these terrible things about him and his fiance.
But see, I would say they're probably not his moles. They're probably just rogue fans doing stuff that he specifically, from what I can see, tells them not to do.
Right. It's not like he's directing them to go in there, but the stuff got back to him. People were sending it to him.
Yeah. Ugh. And don't do that, people. Just don't. Well, this is a good place to pause here and address some things. Jill M's, thank you so much for the Aussie 5. And the husband of the victim's advocate is a police officer.
The husband of the victim. Oh, I didn't know
The
that.
victim's advocate. Yeah, great. So the
Great.
victim's advocate's son, whose father is a cop, elbows the dude in the head in a restaurant. Awesome. Lil B, I love your laugh. It makes me feel so happy. I hope you're talking to Megan because my laugh is weird.
Your laugh is not weird.
I hope you're talking to Megan. But thank you so much, Little B. Glad to see you. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. What's up? Let's get to Doggo Cam. Hashtag buckle up. Yeah. Again, that was where I walked into this whole thing with the judge telling Larry, you better buckle up because I'm going to complain to the bar about you. Dick. And then I just let it go. And then it came back to haunt me. Nick Starro says, my viewers keep badgering me about a cat cam as if I can control Mr. Jingle's whereabouts. Yeah, cat cams won't work. It doesn't work.
Not unless you have them in a closed room and the whole room is on cam.
Yeah. Tim, that's a beautiful dog. Look at those blue gray eyes. Tim Swope, I can see a judge mansplaining things to a kid in court to explain things. These parties have been through this process before. Judge is at fault. Well, clearly the judge is at fault.
Oh, it's the judge's fault throughout the entire thing. You know what? She's not getting her due process either. Let's just be completely clear about that. Lynette, she brought this thing. She deserves her due process as well. The judge is denying due process to everybody in this case. This case should have been adjudicated the first day it was in court.
Yeah, this is a restraining order. This is just
it's been months, and he's blaming the respondent's lawyers for all the difficulty and the delays, when truthfully they've only asked for one continuance. The rest of them were specifically because of either they had stuff already on their calendar and the judge was being absolutely shitty about when he would allow a rescheduling for his own issues. So the judge wants to reschedule, and now the lawyers can't because they're in court. Somebody's traveling, and he doesn't listen. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what's on your schedule. You're supposed to clear it for him. You're supposed to just clear your schedule, Jeff. Doesn't matter if you're in court. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you have to then, deny somebody else their due process. You better show up in his court. The other issues were all because plaintiff didn't show up for her deposition. So now they have to reschedule because they don't have a deposition. Then she did show up for a deposition and then walked out in the middle of it. So it's not complete. She didn't provide discovery. She didn't do anything. All of it is on the plaintiff side, and the judge is blaming the defendant.
Wow, that kind of sounds like the Tonsil twins case.
Isn't that bizarre? Yeah. Except that in that case, at least they have a decent judge who's not holding the defendant responsible for the plaintiff's actions. He has never once or made Lynette do anything. He said that she should, and he has said, "Oh, you need to do your deposition. You need to show up." He has not forced her to do it. He also then says,
have to do their stuff until she does that first, until she does the discovery, because how do they know what to do until they see what she's got and what she says in the depositions?
I know that deposition is gold. We should show a couple clips of that, Jeff, because your audience needs to catch up on how absolutely batshit this woman is.
So that's why I'm trying to decide how to go about showing. Do I start at the beginning? Do I start at the end and then go back to the beginning to show how we got there? Do I just pick the craziest and work? There's so many. I don't know there's so much here that I don't know what to do first. I'm lost. But the Hales were there first, and she followed them, buying property across the street, wanting to benefit from Jeremy's money and fan base. When he said no, she got. So is the "you can't bring your turtles to our party"? Was that like the villain origin story?
Yeah, but she never acknowledges that part. She doesn't talk about that. She claims that this all started when George came over to get some bread for the chickens and suggested that she give up her daughter for adoption. Does that sound like something a person would do?
No.
I mean, and so she
unless they were like Satan.
Right. I mean, that's what started the whole thing, according to her. According to the Hales, these people moved across the street from them, tried to befriend them, and they tried to be friendly with her as well. They helped her out several times. She asked for money several times because of her, with her daughter, and she was giving them a sob story all the time. And the last straw was this: they were having a meet and greet. She asked if she could be invited. They said okay. And then the she wanted to bring a turtle and put up a donation box, and they said no to the donation box. And they said ever since then, she opened holy hell on them. It's been hell. I mean, just with the videos she was posting on Facebook and real life encounters with her live-in boyfriend who brandished a gun, which they have on video. They have it on video. She says in this letter, I think it's in this letter, that there was never any gun. There's a video of John Cook pulling a gun out of his pants. He doesn't point it at them, but that's considered brandishing.
I think she mentioned it in this letter here. No, it was in a different one I read. We said didn't point it at him. He tripped and it sort of the barrel went up in the general direction or something.
Come on.
But he gets his guns taken away. Meanwhile, dude across the street gets to wave his around and threaten people.
Right. And he
that
has it on
no sense.
He has it on video, and Jeremy can't get a restraining order against these people in Florida. He has one against them in Ohio, which is for all 50 states, but this judge won't enforce it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You have to give the full faith and credit to out of state restraining orders, because that's, if you don't, that's how people end up dead.
Yeah, but it's really bizarre. So the judge knows that this order exists, but he sat on the first hearing and listened to Lynette say, I got a bad deal in the Ohio court and they wouldn't even listen to me and they wouldn't take my evidence. And he says, oh, so the judge wouldn't listen to you? And she said, that's right. And he goes, well, that's too bad. I'm sorry for that. He believed her. He just believed her without looking at the record from the Ohio court. This woman also called the Ohio court and made a total ass out of herself, which is one of the reasons why the judge there was like, oh my God, everyone needs a restraining order against this woman, including us. Yeah.
Well, look at MG Lobby in the tease. Legal Vice says, Megan Fox, I have a link for a YouTube video of a
what? Of a what?
Thanks.
Oh,
Thanks,
a
MG.
Florida Fish and Wildlife warden visit to the turtle sanctuary. Oh, I want to see the turtle sanctuary.
I want to see the turtle sanctuary too.
Come on, where's the link, MG? Wait, send it to me on Twitter.
No, send it to me on Twitter. I'm here right now.
Oh, wait. Send it to Jeff. Or send it to somebody.
Unless you're keeping this under wrapps until you do it.
He sends me a DM and says, I have a video of this, but doesn't send me the link.
He sent me the same link too. Thanks, brah.
Thanks, brah. How could you not send us the link? You owe me, MG. You
don't
owe me.
You owe your existence to me, God damn it.
He had 1,100 people in his chat last night.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we've got 1,154 here right now. God bless each and every one of you. You could be doing anything, anywhere. You could actually be listening to someone that knows what the hell they're talking about with this case. So that's why I'm asking you just all to have a little charity in your heart towards me, because I'm genuinely trying to get up to speed here. So don't hate me when it sounds like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because I'm not. But I don't, because I'm trying to figure this out. That's why we had Megan here. That's why Tug is here. Or flip that. That's why Tug was here, and that's why Megan is here to bring me up to speed. And then we're gonna walk back, and I'll have to figure out how to dissect all this crap. But we've got 650 likes. Everybody smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, I would just be grateful if you would do me the privilege of subscribing and the honor of subscribing to my channel. It costs you nothing, and you never have to look at it again. And you can join me for this, and we do other trials. We do other things. And Megan Fox as well. Megan, I'm sure a lot of these people are here because of you, but tell us your little grift here while we're in midstream.
Well, you can follow me at meganfox.locals.com. That's the best place to find me for when I'm going live and what my schedule is. And you can follow me there for free. Please do download that app on your phone and follow me there, because YouTube is asshole and my notifications never get sent and people keep getting unsubscribed. But Locals won't do that to you. So I would appreciate it if you would go there and follow me. But my YouTube channel is Megan Fox Investigates. You can find me there. I also write at pjmedia.com, where I write articles. And, after this, I'm going to be showing the hearing number 1, which is, and I just realized, and I'm such an idiot. I just realized I didn't put it in a format that I can show it on YouTube. So I'm doing it now, right now, as we speak.
Great.
Oh my God. I'm such a dummy. I forgot that I can't share volume on my screen. So I'm going to have to upload it on an unlisted file on YouTube. But that's okay. I'm doing that right now. So it should be ready by the time 10 o'clock rolls around.
The only thing that I can complain about what the Hales their YouTube setup is their videos don't tell you what's in it. I'm looking for the deposition. And
Oh,
it just doesn't
that
say
one's
deposition.
called She's Going to Jail.
That's what it was. Because I remember there was something about jail, so we can just search for it.
Yeah, we should play a couple of clips from that one. It's so funny. Oh, and he got in trouble for putting that online. And it's like, or the judge
What?
was screaming at him. Oh, yeah, the judge was screaming at him. I hear that now I find out that you put the deposition on your YouTube channel. Well, he paid for it. No one told him not to put it on his YouTube channel. And the judge doesn't know the definition of the word safeguarding. The judge looks at his attorney and goes, what did you do to safeguard the deposition? As if it
What?
meant keeping it from the public.
Yeah,
Safeguard.
that's not a
Safeguard
thing.
means preserving it. So what
Yeah.
better place to put it than on YouTube, where it's
And
going to stay?
I said it's his. He paid for it. It's his evidence.
It's
I mean,
his.
it's weird that he would do that. I mean, just looking at it from 30,000 feet, you don't normally post depositions pre-trial on YouTube. So I would hope that his lawyer said, all right, go ahead. He talked. I would hope he talked to his lawyer about doing it beforehand.
I think, I don't know. I don't know if he did it.
But hey, thanks for doing it. It was pretty damn entertaining, the part I saw. Now we do have a hard out in 40 minutes, because Megan's got to start talking about this and I got to do the Hannah Gutierrez trial. So we do have 40 minutes left. So I think we should watch a little bit of this video. What do you think, Megan? Should we watch the deposition?
Yeah, let's
And
watch
before we do that, PD Warren 0829, thank you so much for the super chat. Jeff, love you. Good luck with this one. Oh, hi, Megan.
Hi.
That's better than when my own people go, and hi, Jeff. Hey, Tug. Hey, Megan. Oh, you too, Jeff, I guess. Tracy Fagan, thank you so much. Tug found something that may show Cook is a felon. Dun.
Tug's amazing. Tug can do some really good research, man. I'll tell you what.
You ain't too shabby yourself.
Last night, Tug did some research on this guy who's been harassing Jeremy Hales, and he's on the SA offender registry. Yes. And Tug found some stuff. I'll tell you what, not at social media accounts. Like, Tug's really good at that. If you guys should go and watch his live stream from last night, because it's interesting. I mean, with all these people getting interested in this story now, all these people better buckle up.
That's such a great hashtag, isn't it?
Yeah, shit's gonna happen.
The judge brought it all on himself for being an idiot.
What an idiot.
Well, see, here we've talked a lot about the judge, and like I think going forward, I'm going to be going back through the hearings, probably in chronological order. Now that I have my head wrapped around sort of the big picture, and then do the updates and things that way. So we kind of need to go back into time to the point where the judge isn't involved, which is this deposition. Let's make sure we've got everything clear. Lynn gifted 1 Legal Vices membership. If you're the lucky person amongst the 1,220 people here that got that membership, give Lynn a super special thanks. Thank you so much, Lynn, for being a supporter and for sharing the joy that is me with other people. And we'll be doing a members only stream probably this weekend. I know I said that last weekend, but I was in China, so sorry. Right. Bring this on up. She's going to jail. And sorry, Jeremy, we're just going to cut straight through your intro here and get into
I will
court.
let you know. I have to let you know that
look, Megan, between you and me, nothing that you or anyone can ever say is going to convince me she was ever a fucking stripper. No.
Haven't you ever seen those videos of those super ugly chicks that do the makeup and like the implants, the teeth, and they look like someone completely different? I can see that working here.
No.
She needs some insert teeth and
look,
I can see it working.
Just doing meth and taking your clothes off in public does not make you a stripper. I'm sorry. That does not reach my definition of stripper.
Consider where she lives. She might be one of the top strippers there.
Look, somebody I know may have been to a strip club in the afternoon once or twice. So I've heard. No, there's this place in Salt Lake where like all the lawyers go. It's weird. It's probably not even there anymore. It was a strip club, but they had really good hamburgers. So yeah, you go to eat lunch in a strip club because they had really good burgers. But even the midday, the lunch crowd woman who's just like, yeah, you're past prime time. She just mopes around the pole and it's lunchtime.
Mopes around the pole.
No. See now, like crazy Stephen King level preacher, I can see that. I can easily see like Carrie's mom here. Just got the turtles and the dirty pillows. I can see that, but you can see her ranting about dirty pillows, can't you?
Yes.
But stripper, no
this
effing
gets
way.
so crazy. She starts deleting stuff and admitting that she's deleting it. Evidence spoliation. There's just so much going on here. Here's the other thing too. His attorney really made a mistake. This was a big mistake to allow her to be deposed on Zoom. She should have had to come in to a conference room and sit there. Never again should they allow this woman to be deposed on Zoom. Because this is such a shit show. It can't. She must have been a stripper for the blind, says Brett.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Braille strippers. That sounds worse, like Braille strippers. Be like that 8 blind man touching up an elephant to see what if you.
Oh God.
And damn it, I've been deprived of my wine. I had the cork halfway in and it snapped off. God damn it, I can't even get wine out of this show.
All right.
Chris,
you don't have a screwdriver on your desk? You just pop that in there and pull it back out.
I got a buck knife and that's about it. I'll
work.
Go get it later. Don't worry, it's me. I've got whiskey. Move over, wine. Let me get down to business here. Cops called, protecting our property. I bought an abandoned ranch, Turtle Purgatory Fish and Wildlife video title.
Oh, that's the title.
Oh,
that's
no.
the title. That's the title. But MG's gonna play it tonight,
Yeah.
so we won't do that.
Yeah, this once. We'll give him a pass. Forget the fact we wouldn't even had a channel if I hadn't encouraged him to have one. Just kidding. Just kidding, MG. That's me, Mr. Passive Aggressive tonight. Wow, that's a great title. I bought an abandoned ranch, Turtle Purgatory Fish and Wildlife.
She bought an abandoned ranch on a 1-acre ranch. Isn't it a 1-acre piece of property? That's not a ranch, ma'am. No.
Vices is a better stripper than her. That's another thing we just don't need in our mind. Oh, now he says he sent it to both of us. Now I'll still let you do it.
No, we'll let you do
can
it.
have first. You can have firsties.
You definitely get firsties on that one, MG.
I'll take your stripper seconds here.
This is really getting funny because LawTube is starting to jump on this, and everybody's,
I ain't jumping on this.
Everybody's emailing me for documents, and it's kind of funny because a part of me is like,
Sell them.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me or
Megan?
to me? Shall we ask?
Megan, I've put up with you.
No, Jeff, you get everything you want.
Okay.
Anything you want, you can have. You know that.
All right. Can
some of the others who have never spoken to me. It's like, okay.
Can we please move on so I don't have to look at this?
Yes, move on.
This is a really bad pause considering she was a stripper.
1.66 acres. Yeah.
Got to watch out for those rabbit teeth. Ooh.
I have to be done by 1:30.
No, ma'am, that's not happening. You don't.
I have to be at the sheriff's department,
ma'am,
to be interviewed by the investigators at 2 p.m.
It's not going to end. Ma'am.
She sort of looks like a turtle. Maybe that's why she went for the turtle farm. She's got that, like that. Remember the back of the TV guide? It was like Draw Timmy. Draw Timmy the turtle. And they'll send you like the art critique.
Jeff, stop it. Yes, I remember that. Oh my God. Coke Fairy wants to know, can you lend this lady some of your teeth? I do have a lot of them. It's
Yeah.
true. It's very toothy over here.
Or the good old
We're like
Warner
the
Brothers, like the
opposite.
turtle with the suitcase. Do 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 do. Hello.
Oh my God.
I run a turtle preserve. What the
We
fuck
are-
is a turtle
It's going
preserve?
to take us
Alright.
40 minutes
Fine.
just to get
Ending
through
the
this.
deposition, you were.
Oh yeah, by the way, those of you that know Megan and know how wild she is, just get the two of us in a room together and nothing happens.
Nothing will get
Court
done.
proceeding, and we're not ending the deposition today. At that
Well, Mr. Hales is the one who wanted them to investigate
ma'am,
me.
we're not
so I'm
doing it.
being
It's not
investigated.
happening, ma'am. I'm just telling you.
Okay. When John gets here, sir, I'm going to ask for a break because I need to call the sheriff's department and let
Ma'am,
them.
She's even got like a draw Timmy thing back on the back wall. And just because she sent me a text saying she can't chat for some reason.
Oh, sorry. Wrong button. I was trying to look for my cough button and I lost it.
I think Flux does braids better and glasses.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh, by the
know
way,
that
Yeah.
you're
her daughter is allegedly 4 years old. And in this,
Yeah.
and in the hearing I'm going to watch today, she asked the judge several times if she can go change her daughter's diaper, who is in the car. In the
Well,
car.
there's a minder in
For
the car.
hours. Yeah, I know that there's someone
Yeah.
in there with her, but a
Yeah.
4-year-old in a diaper? Like what? What is happening? 4 years old should not be in a diaper. No. And no. Just I'm sorry.
No.
No.
not going to let us off to show up at their department because this was a real investigation.
That's an AI voice.
ma'am,
That's not
we're
her.
not. We're not. This deposition is going to go forward day to day, like the notice says, until we're finished. So we're not going to take any breaks without phone calls. This is not the time. We'll take
No breaks.
If I don't show up at the sheriff's department,
Jesus.
I'll get arrested.
It was,
Do us a fucking favor, man. God, get arrested. Wow.
This very day after this deposition that Lynette posted on her page, standing in her trash. And it says this very clearly: I want to make this statement and make it very clear. I did tell you it was clearly. Neither John Crook nor myself are in jail or have any fear of going to jail. Well, hold a second. I
can smell
seem
the
to
cigarettes.
be seeing a lot of fear. Because the truth is they are both under investigation and they are both looking at arrest and they are both looking at all the consequences that come with everything they've done to us.
You're trying
Well,
to get
let's-
God. Jeez, she's aggressive, isn't she? Flux just texted me. Flux says, my braids are superior to the granny crack stripper. I'm on top of the world.
You know what's
Put it this
scary?
way.
What's scary is moving. Moving is scary. Like when we were moving from Chicago to rural New York, we were looking at houses. We happen to be very close to the poorest county in New York.
Excuse me for 1 second.
arrested.
There.
Okay. And we were looking at this one house that was really nice, but the neighbors next door had like a trailer and all these cars on their property and refrigerators and just junk. You know, it looked like a junkyard. And I told I told Mr. Fox, I was like, no, I cannot. No, I'm not living next to that. And he was like, what do you? He loved the house because the house was like a log cabin up in the trees. It was really beautiful. But I'm like, the neighbors, this could be a hideous situation. They could be on a registry somewhere. Our kids are little. They're running around. Like, I don't want, no, whatever that is, that's mental illness. I don't need to live next to mental illness. And this is a problem. Like Jeremy moves into this place in Florida he's never been before. He's from Ohio. He gets down to this little county in Florida. And I mean, they have a lot of drug problem there. And there's a whole lot of, hillbilly shit going on. It is so hard to, like, when you're moving someplace you don't know, to pick well. The way I did it was I made sure that all the houses around my houses were either as or more expensive than mine. That's how I did it. Like, and guess what? My neighbors are fantastic. Everybody's great. I don't have any of this. But you got to be really careful and look at the neighborhood before you move in somewhere. Like, seriously, look at who lives next door and who these people are. It's not just her, too. The other neighbor on the other side is doing terrible crap to him, too.
Ugh. And Torin Through has been a member for 5 months. Did I hear braids? I'm not braiding anything related to her. Torin 3 does traditional Japanese braiding. He's done it for like 25 years. It's gorgeous. This yellow and green braid here. Torin 3 did that for me. It's gorgeous. It's got 1,200 individual strands that are braided together. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Torin, for that. And go if any of you want to see some traditional Japanese braiding, head on over to Torin 3. Great stuff. Thank you, brother. And Britt Cormier, Megan, stop judging my white trash brothers and sisters, Lamau.
No.
And for those of you that don't know Flux, Flux is a dear sweet friend. She's got her own channel, House of Flux, where she does things like this. She does unexplained things. She does Minecraft. She rocks some gorgeous braids and some beautiful glasses. She's an absolute wonderful, wonderful woman. And I think we have a Halloween costume for her.
She could go get those teeth from the store.
Yeah. This is your Halloween costume, Flux.
In Ohio.
I'm not trying to get you arrested. I mean, you raised this.
Oh, yes, you are. And so is he.
Hallelujah. There's the preacher coming.
I'm gonna warn you. You're gonna hear some language. You're gonna hear some anger and aggression, and it's all gonna be from Lynette. And some of you may be thinking, how could anybody side with this individual? Remember the bomb threat scare in hearing number 3, and then the court staff member that made the nasty face at me? Yeah, her. That's her right there. We have identified her. As a matter of fact, during lunch, she went up to my first lawyer and said, how could you represent that bleepity bleep?
Uh-oh.
Little uncalled for, I'd say, because she's a victim's advocate in the court setting.
Oh, that's okay.
If she's fallen for this hook, line, and sinker victim's mentality of Lynette, she's got a lot coming, because this woman is going to 100%. There is no doubt in my mind that this woman is going to jail. This victim's advocate doesn't even know the history of this woman. We have psychiatric reports on her. You name it, we've got her on it. And so let's see what my lawyer has to say about her breaking the civil protection orders, even here in Florida.
Hold on.
Wow. Flux just sent me another message. I just got to black out a few teeth and I'm good. Where are they taking this deposition? In like a hospital, like a rundown hospital? Come on.
It's a good question.
Child screaming. So the kid.
Wait.
You know what?
Wait.
The kid
back
is
up.
here during the deposition.
Wait. Back up. I want to hear that.
Protection orders, even here in Florida.
Is she yelling?
Hold on 1 second. This cupboard is a no.
You know what, Mr. Hales?
Crap.
Yeah. So dang. So this must
yelling
be
at a 4-year-old. Great.
in her shed or something.
This might be the trailer on her property.
Wrangle those wires, people. Come on.
When he said 10 feet.
The order that he's got against us in Ohio that he got fraudulently. Yes.
Oh, he's referring to the order. So let's look at it.
I don't need to look at it. John can't jump a fence and run on a leg with wrapping up to his crotch.
What?
When you're not on your property.
Now, if she can afford one of these Stanley motherfuckers, she can afford to not live in a shed. Those are like selling for about the price of a shed now. Come on. She's got one of the Stanley cups. The pink ones even. I hear they're the hot ones. Oh, no. Is that
a Stanley cup?
That's one of the magical pink ones that are selling for like $4,000 on eBay.
Oh my God. This is the kind of person who stands in line for this cup. Now we know. Enjoy your lead.
Lisa Franceschi says, holy fuck, what did I click into? I asked myself that very same thing.
Can you imagine being a judge and taking this woman's side?
Coke Fairy, you think she paid for this, Jeff? Oh, bless you. Is your locals having fun with this yet?
That's a good question. I haven't checked in on them in a little bit.
Are they memeing it yet?
Are they memeing? Jeff wants to know if you're memeing.
I mean, have they been memeing up to this point?
No, they haven't.
Wow.
Not this one so much. Oh yeah, they have. They've been memeing the judge. We've been
Okay.
memeing the judge like a lot of the we have skipped, but not her yet. They haven't seen. I didn't show my channel this deposition yet, so they haven't seen it.
She
Today's the
calls her
first time.
daughter mommy?
What?
Okay.
I don't know what that
All
means.
right.
You and Mr. Cook cannot come within 500 feet of Mr. Hales or
We
Mr.
did it.
Jesus.
You understand that
God
this
damn.
law says
That's gonna be like when the county fair comes, when all the dirty carnies come into town, and they set up the fun house, the haunted house, and they've got all the stupid bells and the whistles and the air that comes out of the floor and the green skeletons that fall. You're just gonna walk around the corner and be, take that off!
Can you imagine if you're the attorney on the other side? What are you thinking at this point of the deposition? What are you thinking? You're like, I got this in the bag. Like this is it. We're gonna
I'm
win.
thinking, this poor effing little kid, man. Holy
I
crap.
know.
Yes, she does call her mommy. That's weird. Do we know her age? She's probably 26. Oh, what have I done? I'm sorry to pour all you. We got 1,500 people in here that are going, what the hell is this dude doing? Thank you for putting up with me, all you Hales heads. 10 gauge cheese head. I have loads of scrap cars and junk, and I'm not some nut, just a country boy. Go back to Chicago. Well, how many of them up on cinder blocks? You can have them rotting and growing weeds up through the floorboards. That's okay. Just up on cinder blocks in the front yard next to the 3 washing machines. That's not okay. I know because, I'm a country boy too, if you can't tell. Island, judge is making Lynette famous. Isn't it ironic? I hope she earns $1 million. PJ Brown, new member. Thank you so much, PJ Brown, for being the newest member of the Clean and Sober crew. Appreciate the support. Hope you stick around for a long time. Oh God, do we have to listen to her yell at me again? I didn't do anything wrong.
even if he approaches you, even with his permission.
Did you want John to jump a fence
Ma'am,
with
there's no
a
need-
with his leg wrapped up one day out of?
Dobby's frightened. This is freaking fun house. This is Halloween haunted house material here. Good Lord.
Yeah.
How does she not stroke out?
Surgery. What should he have done?
Ma'am, please lower your voice.
What
There's no-
should he have done?
I'm going to ask you.
Are
to
you?
lower your
You
voice.
are not a nice person.
Takes
talking
one to
about
know
me.
one, I guess.
Oh yes.
Ma'am, please lower your voice, and there's no need to use profanity.
No.
And are you a minister?
Yes, I am. I find this irrelevant to the
A
case.
minister.
And
All this screaming,
All
all this
this
yelling,
using
rage,
F words.
hostility
Are you a
with a
minister?
child
Yes.
right there.
I
Now,
find it
let's back
irreverent.
up a little bit. What does he expect John to do? Well, the law expects John not to be in the road. Now, whether you want to talk about a bandage wrapped all the way up to his whatever it is,
What does that even
or
why?
a walker, he
I
had
have
to
no
get from the
idea.
back of the property on the walker
She's
with the
60.
bandage up into the road, which is the exact same type of ground that would have been on his actual property. So he was okay to get all the way from the back of the property up to the road, but then he had to be on the road. No, the following day, he was putting up this trash fence on the actual property. Did he ever need to be in the road? You know the answer as well as I do. He should have never, legally.
Sorry, what does this even mean? She has a broken futon as a gate.
Oh,
Claims
no.
her daughter's a runner. Property full of rotting food and broken glass. Oh God.
Oh no.
A broken futon as a gate. Oh. Wow, Julie. Oh, thank you so much. She has kids. Well, it's an adopted child. She has this adopted 4-year-old child. One, I hope, is the answer to how many. That means someone screwed. Nope. Nope. Thankfully. Maybe a close relative. The family tree is just the trunk, no branches.
She does actually have children and stuff and stepchildren, and they've talked to Jeremy about,
Really?
Yeah. and they've talked to him, and one of them has a YouTube channel I watched, and she's basically saying that she was abused, and
Yes.
that
Well, surprise.
and that she's very worried about the child that's there now. It's
Oh.
a really sad situation, and it sounds like the authorities really aren't listening to people who are trying
Yeah.
to bring their attention to it. And that's typical of CPS.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
ignore real problems, and then they go after innocent parents, who take their kids to the hospital.
Oh my God, 8 children and stepchildren. Plus, is that plus this this child is adopted, right? I do
Yeah.
understand that correctly. Yeah. So yeah, she didn't have a child at 56, but she seemed to have had a few of them throughout the ages. She was allowed to adopt. Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it? Thanks, DCV Titan. God dang. Oh, Jill Elms with the big $20 Aussie super chat thinks she has 7 ex-husbands. Oh, you'd think the first 6 would learn, so I doubt. I hope not. Oh my God. All right, let's get back to shouting. Thank you again so much for those super chats. People love you guys.
Ever been in the room?
Oh, she's just a
I
guardian.
don't understand the injunction at all anymore. No, I don't.
Protection order entered.
Oh no, so yeah, not legally adopted. Does that mean it's a foster child? If
Wait. What do you mean not legally adopted?
Someone said not legally adopted, only a guardian.
I don't know what that means.
Does that mean if it's foster children, could she be just doing it for the cash? Oh God,
I don't think it's a foster situation, but I could be
I
wrong.
hope not.
But if it is, that would make sense as to why CPS is ignoring it. They never
they don't like
investigate.
placements.
They never investigate their foster families for abuse. It's really bizarre. But I don't know enough of the details to know.
Yeah.
And believe me, I do not. It has to be pretty bad before I would suggest that the state should get involved, because I hate CPS and I think kids are not safe in foster care.
Okay, we're getting private adoptions. Mother gave her guardianship, not
Okay.
foster parents. Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
Well,
So, look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunate, but no one can do anything about this. You cannot do anything about this, people. Do not call anyone. Do not contact her. Don't do anything. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
The authorities who are supposed to know already know, and they have made the choice not to do anything. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. This is just this shitty ass system we live in. So,
wow, this is honestly horrible.
and if you do contact anybody, you make it worse for Jeremy. So just don't.
Yeah.
Just if you want to contact somebody, contact the legislature in Florida. They're the only ones who you can talk to legally and say, get this judge off the bench because he's a terrible judge. That's the one thing we can do, is contact the governor's office and the legislature and say, this is terrible. Do something.
Yeah, this is crazy. Wow. All right. Brian Watkins says, I think it was a private adoption, not through CPS. Well,
keep in mind that her little girl is right behind her while she's doing all of this.
Duncan Idaho from Memphis says, get off the shed. Thanks. Oh God.
In the
You're
state of
being
Ohio,
ridiculous.
case number.
I'm
Ma'am,
pleading
there's no question pending.
I'm
making-
pleading the 5th on everything. From now on, I'm pleading the 5th.
What?
You're telling me that
She's
every
pleading the
question I
5th.
asked you.
No, what?
She's
Okay.
pleading the 5th. Hey, Doggo Cam, aren't you at Doggo Cam?
We are just barely, but the dogs have effed off at this point
Oh,
into the
no.
other room. Well, okay, and we actually we have about 5 minutes left because Megan's
Okay.
got to go and I got to go. But I'm curious as to what this means.
You're going to plead the 5th.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to do
Then why are
legally
you
or
saying
not.
that? Then why are you saying that?
Because you're trying to hem me up and it can be used against me in the court. Therefore, I'm pleading the 5th.
Okay, that's all right. There's a couple things here. This is a good place to end. And I will pick this up tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 8 a.m. Eastern. We'll continue watching this as well as the Turtle Farm video once we let MG Law have a crack at it. Speaking of crack addicts, let's no, she's meth. Meth is her drug of choice, apparently. Yeah. This pleading the 5th, that's not really what she's doing. And you can't really plead the fifth because you think the other lawyer is trying to trick you with questions. That's not what it's for. It's to prevent you from being incriminated criminally, to protect literally your Fifth Amendment rights.
And she brought this action. She brought this, and then you have the nerve to say, I don't want to tell you my story.
But the interesting thing is which she probably doesn't know because she's just talking straight out of her ass. Unlike criminal proceedings where you cannot use someone's silence against them, you can make negative inferences from someone pleading the fifth in a civil case. So it's not like she's admitting guilt and saying, I don't, admitting doing something wrong, so I don't want to talk about it. But the judge can go, well, you didn't talk about it.
But he won't.
Well, so there must be a reason. But yeah.
He won't, though. This one won't. I mean, she admits on this deposition she is deleting things as they are talking, and she admits to doing it. She should be held in contempt for that. And this judge is, you know who got in trouble? Jeremy. For putting the deposition online. He's the only one who has been chastised for this. And he's under a gag order now. He is not allowed to put any more of the deposition online. He's not allowed to. That should have been specified before they took the deposition. Someone should have told him. I mean, clearly they know the guy has a YouTube channel. He's been posting all the hearings. Why wouldn't he post his deposition? Somebody should have said that beforehand. But now, instead of going after her for her obvious breaking of rules, they're going after Jeremy instead. The judge is unbelievable, out of control. And we're about to watch the first hearing on my channel coming up at 10 o'clock. Going to watch hearing number 1. And and then, Jeff, I will make sure that you get all those hearings as I do them.
Thanks. And a 10-gauge cheesehead says meth is a hell of a drug. And the Buzz CJC member for 1 month. Thank you so much. I'm sure the Hales guy is great and the lady's crazy, but his delivery needs to go down from 8 to 11, down to 8 from 11. He's almost hard to watch as his turtle cat lady. Well, he's been in this for 9 months, and you have to give him a little bit of slack for his delivery. So I'll cut him some slack. Lisa says I plead the fifth. Thank you so much, Lisa. Now, what I'm going to do tomorrow, we got 1,500 of you here. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channels at 8 a.m. Eastern. And I'll go, once the Hannah Gutierrez trial finishes up this week, I'll be returning to my normal streaming time of 9 a.m. Eastern. And we'll continue with this, absent anything else. Tomorrow, we'll finish up this deposition. Probably watch the turtle farm video just because I have morbid curiosity as to what her turtle preserve looks like. And then we'll go watch the second hearing from the Hales channel, because that's the one I did watch the first part of that today from what the Hales channel. I appreciate everybody being here and putting up with me. Like I said, I'm late to this game and I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to, it's going to take a while to wrap my head around just the enormity of what's happening here. Because all of this that we didn't even really talk too much about what the judge has actually done, other than some really bad rulings. But this gives a good foundation to lead into the judge's just like I said, I watched the first part of the second hearing and I'm already going, why is the judge doing this? What the hell is going on?
Wait till you see the first hearing, Jeff. At first I'm like, gee, he seems kind of normal. This seems okay. And as the hearing continues, you start to get the idea. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. He's literally keeping the respondent from being able to put on any case at all. And then he really loses his shit at the end of the first hearing and starts yelling and screaming about how he cannot possibly do this in the time they say they need. And oh no, this is very complex. He's telegraphing right there that I'm going to drag this shit forever and there isn't a damn thing you can do about it. This guy is out of control. Wow. Loves himself so much. I think he likes the fact that he's being talked about, even though he's getting negative attention. He's like Laura Owens. He's like Laura Owens. He's psychotic in this way where any attention is good attention. It makes him feel like a superstar.
Well, it's like Oscar Wilde said, the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
I wish you could watch the first hearing with me. I would love to hear what you had to say about it. But I'll watch it
Well,
with you maybe later.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you send it to me, maybe we can do that tomorrow too. And you're welcome to
Yeah.
early morning
You know what?
time.
I will write down timestamps as to things I want you to
Ooh,
watch, and then
okay.
we will do that tomorrow. How about that?
Sounds grooving. Sounds
All right.
groovy.
I will start
So-
notes.
All right, DCV Titan with our last super chat of the day. I believe you mean same batshit time, same batshit channel. Seriously, who is crazier, this chick or Church of Gale, who thinks Star Trek is real? Wow. All right.
All right, I gotta go, Jeff.
Yep.
I gotta run because I gotta get coffee and stuff.
Yep.
I'll see you guys.
Me
See you guys.
too.
If you're
Thanks,
coming to see
Megan.
me, that's great. See you there. Love you, Jeff. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. All right, we're gonna wrap this up, and again, I just want the 1,364 of you that are still here, please hit that like button, and if you're inclined to come back again, please hit that subscribe button and sign up for the notifications. We're going to be doing this as often as we can because as a lawyer, the background information is what I thought was going to be important, but the story is the judge, and as someone in the law business, judges need to be held accountable. Rogue judges do far more damage than they do good. And I want to see what this judge is all about. And so we're going to walk through it. We're going to look at the motions. We're going to look at the hearings. We're going to look at the submissions and the evidence that's available. And we'll see how this goes. Please hit that subscribe button. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to end this stream with a super thanks to the mods. All of you new people here in chat, thank you so much for taking a chance on me and being here. Thank you so much for the support, the super chats and the memberships and all that other stuff, and just for being here in chat and chatting away. When I shut this down, you should get automatically sent over to my Hannah Gutierrez Reed trial hearing. We're going to watch the morning session of the Hannah Gutierrez trial today. She is the armorer that's being tried for negligent homicide or in relation to the shooting Alec Baldwin when he shot and killed Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer on the set of the movie Rust. So that negligent manslaughter, not homicide, negligent manslaughter and tampering with evidence. We're on day 7 of that trial. I'll give a little bit of a background and then we'll pick it up with today. So we'll see you on over there. If not, we'll see you here tomorrow, same time again, 8 a.m. for more of this What the Hales stuff. Guys, love you. Thank you so much. Take care. Be good to each other. And we'll see you over at Hannah Gutierrez here in just about 5 minutes. Bye now.